Awesome. Welcome, guys. So what do you do? How do you, we often get these, questions about, Vanessa, how do you prepare your mindset to attract, how do you use the law of attraction to get more of the goals? How do you stay in a high vibration? And yesterday we were dealing with, somebody in our program that, has really been doing amazing work, launching her Facebook ads, awesome sauce, and then hit a road bump. And so this conversation about what do you do when you're on your goal, on your way to reaching your goals. Maybe you are still working in your 9-to-5 job and you've decided, on this date I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to make this coaching thing really my main thing. And then it doesn't happen in the timeline that you expect. Or maybe you're like me when I launched my first telesummit and I did a series of interviews, and this was like my biggest, hey, big thing here out there into the online world. And in the middle of this, somebody hacks my website and it crashes the whole thing. Holy snap smokes, right? When I see my head pop off. So what do you do? How do you handle obstacles, along the journey? How do you keep your mind focused? How do you stay productive? What are the actual tangible step-by-step to reaching any goal that you set? That's a topic that I want to cover with you here today. My name is Vanessa Simpkins. If you're just tuning in, if you're new to my work, I'm the author of these 2 books, Take Your Power Back Now, The Ultimate Confidence Guide for Women, How to Overcome Any Resistance to a feeling sexy, feminine, powerful, prosperous, fun, and fabulous. And then this is my first book, From Bankrupt to Making $900 a Day Selling Mops. True story. I got started, broke out into the expert field by teaching other entrepreneurs sales and mindset mastery tips that I learned on a mop stage. I sold mops for a living for several years. And that kind of gave me my stripes. So let's get started. I have 5 tips that I want to share with you. When you're making a goal, let's say a goal is to double your income, or maybe a goal of yours is to build a website or attract your first 5 high-paying clients, or replace your current income with your coaching income, or maybe it's to hire your first salesperson. Whatever your goal is, step number 1, you have to be clear and you have to write it down by a specific date. So I'm a big believer. We run an online business here, Take Your Power Back Now. I've been running this now for 8 years. We have an 8-week boot camp called the 10K in 30-day program.com, where we teach new entrepreneurs how to make their first coaching sale, how to get really clear about what they're selling, who they're selling it to, and how to attract clients online for $5 a day using Facebook. That's our signature 8-week program. And we also have a year-long program called the Bikini Business Mastermind, where we teach entrepreneurs how to rock their portable, profitable coaching business in a bikini if you want to. It's really about, how do you create consistent marketing, and how do you stay in the game, and how do you stay focused on the right priorities, and, grow your income and grow your business? How do you not fall off on the wrong track and focus on the right activities to grow your business? And we do really well. Last year we had another record-breaking month, over $250,000 in revenue. That's my first $250,000 month here, which is totally amazing and outrageous. And could not have done that without our amazing team. And so, we're always growing. We're always making new goals as a team. I think there are about 18 people now that work here at Take Your Power Back Now, all around the world in different areas. And we connect and, we set goals for this company, for this quarter, for this month, for this week. And the first step is always to write things down. Let's get really clear. So what is your goal? What do you want? And put a timeline on it. All right. So if it's like a really big, hairy goal, maybe it's for, hey, in 6 months from now, or in 3 months from now. So that's always the first step. Got to be written out, got to be specific. Number 2, who do you have to be in order to achieve that goal? Who do you have to be in order to achieve that goal? So the second key to getting what you want is to create the concepts and the beliefs about yourself, to create new concepts and beliefs for yourself that will enable you to show up as that person who gets that goal, because you're going to have to take different action steps to get a different result. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So who do you have to be in order to achieve that goal? What do you have to believe about yourself or about life? You know, for example, if you said that you're going to double your income, well, what is required? Do you need to be better at sales? So maybe installing a new belief that, I'm a rock star salesperson. I'm really, really good at this sales thing. So the second key to getting what you want is to create new beliefs and new concepts of yourself, because that's what's going to allow you to implement these new actions that's going to lead to the new result. And it's going to be bumpy. Anytime you stretch and you get bigger, there's going to be a learning curve. Get ready for it, right? So work on those concepts and beliefs. Third key, you have to take massive action every day. Guys, write this down, grab a pen and paper. This is how I start off all of my days. I set, a list. I put the day at the top of the page, and then I write down, okay, what do I want to get done today? And, I make my list, make this video, connect with that person, And then I go back and I put a priority number. Okay, what am I going to do first? What is the 20% of the actions that are going to lead to the 80% of the results? And I make sure that I do those first. And every day, what is the most important action that you can take, the boldest action, the most massive action to achieve that goal? And do it every single day. That's the third key. Fourth key, when the problems arise, and oh, they will. When the problems arise, and oh, they will, you can't forget to enjoy the ride. So yesterday there was a client who's like, Vanessa, I'm so impatient. I'm like you. I want things yesterday. And I was like, I get it, but here's the deal. How long? I said, where are you going to travel to? And where's the next place you're going on vacation? She goes, I'm going to Italy. I said, okay, how long does it take to fly from the US to Italy? And she said, wow, it takes about, 9 hours. I said, okay, so what are you doing on the plane ride? Because no matter how you slice the cake, you got to spend 9 hours in the air. Are you going to sit? She goes, well, I watch movies. I read a book. I said, yeah, or you could sit there and stew and beat yourself up because it's taking so long. But that's not going to change the amount of time that it takes you to get there, right? And so it's often the same with your business, right? You're on a trajectory, and no matter how you slice the cake, even if you hire a mentor, even if you get the best support team, things take a little bit of time. So, and it's a natural progression. So how do you deal with things taking longer than you think they should? Thinking that you should be farther ahead. How do you show up in those moments? Do you beat yourself up, or do you, enjoy the ride? So when problems arise, when bumps in the road happen, when things get delayed, what are you going to do? And my invitation for you is to really, enjoy the ride, because it's going to happen. It happens all the time here. I think I want everything yesterday, and it takes a little bit longer. And so the way to look at this is, if you're sitting there saying it's not there yet, how come it's not here yet? It should be here. Oh my gosh, why not? Why me? What's wrong with me? How come they have it and I don't? Think about what kind of vibration state you're putting yourself into. You're putting yourself into a state of, I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. What's wrong with me? So this really becomes, entrepreneurship to me is like a full-on contact sport. You're really gonna meet yourself and meet all of the edges of yourself, and really master your mindset, or become a puppet to it, right? So this is an opportunity for you to really master your vibration. How are you enjoying the ride when things get rough? What are you doing? Are you beating yourself up? Or are you saying, well, I'm going to be on a plane for 9 hours. I may as well enjoy the ride. That's under your control, right? How you perceive things. And finally, the last key to getting your goals, before I mention that, there was another instance that happened yesterday that, this is what made me want to do this video today. One of our clients has, she's been doing amazing, and she had a glitch in the road with Facebook. Somebody hacked her account. I've never heard of this happening before. And she was really bummed. They were able to grab some money out of her account, like $700. And she was really deflated about that. And she was, sending in support tickets with Facebook. And I'm sure they're going to settle that at some point, that will be settled. But she was really bummed. And I was like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity, to really look at yourself and say, okay, you're either going to be a victim of this, or you're going to look at this as, what, even this is serving me. Even this is serving me. And I'm going to invite you guys to have this perception that everything in life is working out for you. Yes, even the pile of shit that you are in that smells like shit and tastes like shit when you're in it, when your eyeballs deep in it, because right around the corner, you're going to see in hindsight how it serves you. How do I know that for sure? Well, when I went bankrupt, I wrote a book about that shitstorm. And that's how I came on the scene and became an expert. You could say, well, that was terrible, Vanessa. I could be sitting here, oh, I went bankrupt because, it's everybody else's fault. Oh my God, life's so unfair. I could sit here, whine and complain and say, oh, the earth is falling, the sky is falling, I'm a victim. Or I could put on a new lens, a new perception, and change the way I'm seeing this and use it to serve others, which is my invitation for you. No matter what life throws at you, life is working for you. It's working out for you. Yes, even the shitstorms. Yes. Hey, my next book, guess what? I was in a relationship with a weirdo guy. This was a stage in my consciousness when, I went back and back to a relationship with a narcissist for 8 years. The guy nearly killed me in a hotel room. Wrote a best-selling book about it. The story I never wanted to tell turned into a bestseller, got me on national television, and really launched this women's empowerment movement. When I was right in the thick of that, it was awful. It was hard. It was terrible. I was embarrassed. I was, ashamed. I was all of these different feelings. When you're in the shit pile, it smells like shit. But guess what? It was one of the best things that ever happened to me because I decided to serve with it. So no matter where you find yourself, I'm a little bit of inspiration here for you guys today, and that's, you're going to need a lot of that as an entrepreneur. It's not just about business building and online marketing strategies. Entrepreneurship is 90% mindset, you guys. How do you show up when shit hits the fan? What do you do when, you hit an obstacle? Who do you call? This is why I'm such a big proponent on getting involved with masterminds, surrounding yourself with people who can help you, with a mentor who can say, watch out, there is a landmine over there. Do not step in it. Come back over here. Let's get you away from that explosion. It's going to blow you up. You're going to lose a leg. Get over here on this side. Come on, and get you back on track. Because, you can get lost. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you're tuning in, a lot of people write to me and say, Vanessa, we love your videos. I watch you with popcorn on YouTube, and a huge part of getting your goals is just staying in the damn game, guys. How are you going to stay in the game? What is your contingency plan? How are you making sure that you stay on the right track and that you stay in the game? Because I guarantee if you stay in the game the longest, you will win. The difference between failure and success is somebody who tried one more time. That is all. So I really want to invite you to, if you've had these not victim glasses on, but if you've been like, oh my God, why me? How come I don't have it and they don't? Get out of that thinking immediately. Turn it around. And how is this working out in my favor? How is this working out in my favor? Focus mind. Your mind's kind of like a dog. If you point over there, and all day long you're pointing and you're looking at why it sucks, how bad it is, like you're just going to go down that freaking horrible road. Or you could point your mind, you could focus your mind on how is this a good thing for me? How is this turning out for me? What's really good about this? How can I serve with this right now? Hey, guess what? That person in my group, I was like, why don't you go and like teach your clients how not to get freaking hacked by people in the Facebook ads? You know, why don't you serve with that? When people who are doing online marketing want to know how to protect themselves, what have you learned from this? Right? Whenever you make it about yourself, you know, you're really in a victim mentality, but make it about others, and immediately you move into a place of your cup is overflowing and you're giving, and you cannot outgive the universe, guys. You cannot outgive the universe. So that's just a tip on how to shift from, oh my God, the sky is falling, to boom, how can I serve? How's this working out for me? And have the right perception so that you stay in the game. The last tip that I want to share with you on how to reach your goals, this is really about physics now. Hey, what's up, Abigail? Welcome. And so you have to see yourself already there. So this is a little bit of a law of attraction in action tip. All right. And I can talk to you about this because I was the girl who tried everything, didn't know what the heck I was doing, and went bankrupt. And my company just did $250,000 last month. Right. So I'm allowed to talk to you about how to really use the law of attraction in business. That is what my first book is all about. So I'm coming to you from a place of humility. I'm coming to you from a place of really just wanting to impart and share. Not this is woo-woo, but the reality of manifestation is that, and this works by principles and laws. And the principles, Emerson said the principles should give you peace. It's kind of like the rules of life, right? The rule here is if you go over the speed limit, they give you a ticket. Those are the rules, the principle that governs society. If you jump off the roof, there's gravity, you fall down. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter how old you are. That is how life gets managed by certain principles. The other principle is that whatever your subconscious mind accepts, it must express. It will show up in the physical plane. And so the question becomes, well, how do you impress your subconscious mind? You mean to tell me, Vanessa, if my subconscious mind accepts that I'm a millionaire, I'm going to express $1 million or more? Absolutely, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. So the majority of my work has really been in the spiritual realms of a mindset and like what's the fastest way to impress my subconscious mind? So there are 3 ways to get your mind to believe a new belief. What is a belief? Well, a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. That's it. You don't even have to be smart. You don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be a size 4. You just have to be persistent. So here's how it works. Subconscious mind is impressed by 3 things. Number 1, by seeing yourself. So, this is why Olympic athletes use visualization. If it works for Olympic athletes, do you think it can work for your business? Absolutely. The trick to visualization is to actually not see yourself in the image, but be in the image and see what you would see out of your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? When the goal is there. So it's like you put yourself in the picture. You don't see yourself outside of you in your mind. You're in it. It's happening, and you're seeing and you're feeling what's going on. Like a 30-second movie clip, okay, that you rewind and play again, rewind, play again, rewind, that little 30-second clip. Why? Because the subconscious can't distinguish between imagination and reality. And repetition is what impregnates. It's just repetition, persistence. It's plain old bulldog repetition. And the third thing that, impregnates the subconscious is feeling and emotion. So in our 10K and 30-day program, we talk a lot about the use of affirmations. We give you a solid recipe. But the affirmations are simply to bring up a feeling. And it's that feeling that impresses the subconscious. So the fifth key for you guys on how to get whatever you want in life, how to get more of the goals that you're making, is to spend some time every day in the process of impregnating your subconscious mind. When you first wake up, when you go to bed at night, when your conscious mind is quiet, that's when your subconscious becomes open. Conscious mind is kind of like a gatekeeper. So you got to calm yourself down, calm your mind, relax your body, and then go into these rituals of seeing yourself already there. Seeing, feeling, seeing that movie, repeat it, right? Maybe using affirmations, assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. Assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. And those are the 5 biggest keys to help you get any goal that you set, and a little bit of what to do when obstacles come in. And you know what? They are like, no matter what you do, whether it's you want to buy a new house, or you want to buy a new car, or you want to change careers, or you want to go on vacation, you want to do something new, you're going to confront that old version of yourself, and you're going to have to stretch. And, there's just growing pains involved. Expect them, but know what to do. It's part of the course. And how can you make sure that you have the right glasses on, that you're seeing and perceiving the situation for what's real? How can you get really clear on your goals? How can you create, a massive action plan and make sure that it's the right action plan? And how can you get out of a funk, faster than staying in it for a month, 2 months? That's why I believe that masterminds really, are the ticket. And you're welcome to come and check out our masterminds. I'll pop them here below the video. We have 2 of them, the 10K and 30-day program.com. It's mostly for new coaches. And a lot of our coaches, they either have a coaching certification, or they're stuck in this learning without ever earning mode. And one of the things that keeps them stuck there is not having clarity. So if you have been, unclear about any of the things that we talked about today, maybe you're still not clear about what to call yourself, how to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Or maybe you're still stuck with, I don't know what to call my program, Vanessa. I don't know what to put inside it. I don't know what people would actually pay me $3,000 or $5,000 for. It sounds really good. A lot of people say, I'm in your Facebook group. I see all these, posts of all these testimonial videos, and it looks really great, but I don't really know, Vanessa, what I could even charge. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know so if you're lacking clarity, you can't run a Facebook ad if you don't know what you're selling, and you can't sell a $3,000 or $5,000 coaching program if you don't know what it's called, or what's included, or even who to market it to, or who to target. And so we're really, really good at helping our clients get clarity on all of these pieces. So that's our 8-week boot camp. It is a mastermind where you get to work with me and my entire team. We have copywriters on there. You get your own personal mindset mentor. You get to work with my Facebook ads ninja. And you get to work with me, a 7-figure business owner, every single week. Imagine how much faster and farther you could grow your business in less time if you had access to an entire team. The brilliance of each one of us helping you in your court get the clarity and say, watch that line, man, watch that landmine. Don't go there, go here. Just these next 3 steps. Imagine how much faster and farther you grow your business. That's why I love masterminds. Plus, you're surrounded by all these people who believe that they can do it, you can do it, and birds of a feather flock together. You're not listening to your sister, auntie, mother, neighbor who are these naysayers, Debbie Downer naysayers. There's a lot of those out there. Watch out. And the second reason I really love masterminds, especially for entrepreneurs, is because in our mastermind, the reason why it really separates itself from the crowd. This is what our clients tell us. Most new entrepreneurs can't afford a $30,000 a month team. Okay. They can't afford $10,000 a month on a copywriter, another $10,000 a month on a sales specialist, another $10,000 a month on a highly, high quality or expert traffic specialist. You can't afford that. When you're a solopreneur, it's like you wear all the hats, right? And so that's why I've created the program in the way that I have, so that you get access to everybody on my team, and I can afford it. You know, the company just did $250,000 last month. I can afford it. So why don't you come in and use my awesome team? So do check that out if you want. If you're a new coach and you want to make your first, high ticket sale, the 10K in 30 program.com is a great place to check out. And then we also have the Bikini Business Coach, or actually it's called bikinibusinesscoach.com. And bikinibusinesscoach.com is really about, creating a consistent income online as an online marketer. And that's, if you think that you're going to be a coach and not have to get with the times and learn online marketing technology, if building a funnel freaks you out, if, paid advertising, the idea of running Facebook ads freaks you out, if, you have a hard time, knowing what to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in your business to be consistent. Maybe you've had some results, but they're not consistent. That's the program for you. So I'll put both links here below. I hope that you get all of your freaking goals. I hope that you took away a nugget or two from today's video. And I'm also going to leave you with a really cool book. So I think my book is upstairs, but I'm going to share with you a really cool book. It is called Your Inner Conversations Are Creating Your World. Your Inner Conversations Are Creating Your World. And it's a book by an author named Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard. And he was a metaphysician. In 1972, he passed away. And he's like, kind of, to me, he's the real like law of attraction kind of master dude. Before law of attraction really became a big thing, he really talks to you and goes into great depth and detail about the inner workings of the conscious and subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy, another great author in the realms of impressing your subconscious mind. But you can find Neville Goddard's work on Audible. You can find, there's a bunch of free resources as well. So when I really got into, doing this seriously, I'll end it with a quick story. I remember there was a time in my life when I really wanted to throw in the towel on my coaching business. A lot of people don't know this story, so I'm going to share it because it's important to like not only share the highs of your, career, and everyone looks on the inside now and they're like, oh, Vanessa, of course you make a lot of money. You're the bikini business coach and you look so polished, and you look at your website and but I don't have a book like you have a book, and I don't have all these people on I'm just starting out from scratch, and how do I make $10,000 a month? And it can't happen unless I have all these things. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So it's important for me that I share with you not just like the highs and look at all these great things, but also the lows, so that you can understand that that is part of the journey. And again, if you stay in the game long enough, failure and success is simply a result of habits. Failure is a lesson. Success is that same lesson applied. So there was a time in my business when I had written this best-selling book. Okay, Take Your Power Back Now. And I had done the retreat in Hawaii, and I did this whole big launch with a marketing company, and all this stuff was supposed to be promised, and they were going to give me this big list was going to happen about it. And oh my gosh. And really at the end of it, writing a book is a very expensive and complicated and long undertaking. It is not a short, simple, fast, quick client attraction system or funnel that we teach. We teach our clients a 45-minute funnel. Bang! In 45 minutes, we're going to get you a funnel up and running and start your sales attraction system. It is not a book. Do not write a book. Okay. This is like a freaking year-long marathon. This is something to use for branding. This is something I would not recommend in the beginning of your career. Do not do that. It's too long. You don't need it. But it's cool to have, eventually it can be a strategy that you use later on. So anyways, this was my second book. And, I was really like, hey, source, spirit, God, this was like, this book wanted to be birthed. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to write another book. I was like, listen, I know writing a book is a pain in the butt. It takes a long time. I'm not interested in doing it. I don't want to do it. And it just kept coming up again and again. Write the book. Fine. So I write the book. And then it was do the retreat in Hawaii. Okay, I did that. And it didn't, I was expecting, to become like a a millionaire. And it really didn't happen, like not at all. And I thought, I'm going to give up. I'm going to go back and become a speaker. And I started going to speaking events, and I started, working for a training company. And at that time in my business, things just weren't working. They were not working. I didn't even enjoy it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was working way too hard for the money that I was making. At that stage in the game, I was like 5 years in, and I should have had like piles of money, and I just didn't. And I almost gave up on my business. And then something happened. I hired a mentor, and it was like a business building course, and we used to go and meet up here in San Diego once a month, and we're on a round table with, 7 or 8 people, and really dissect our business. And, he'd send you home with like this packet and, of information. And one of the things that he had us do every morning was a mental kind of round table with your like, not your archangels, but with your invisible team. And he kind of got me back into the habit to look at how my daily rituals and my thoughts were impacting, my life. And I had said, wow, I got started kind of as a sales and law of attraction expert. And somehow along the road, I got away from all of the mindset work and the consistent, application of these rituals. And I was also dating at the time, and the guys that I were dating were the same guy with a different hair color, different eye color, same issues. And I realized, this became a huge part of the work that we do now. I realized that, all of these non-results that were happening were still a result, and I was the only common denominator, So I really started to take some radical accountability in looking inside my own mind. And that's when I found these limiting beliefs. And the limiting belief was, well, you can't have what you really want. And that pretty much shocked me and blew my freaking socks off. And I turned it around. You absolutely can have everything that you want. And I'm irresistible to my divine mate. And then 3 months later, I met my husband. We got married. Met my husband. That was the first big thing. Holy smokes. It actually worked. Wow. I made a plan. I made a man plan. He showed up. And then I said, well, let me try this with money. And then I was like making $10,000 a month, and $10,000 was leaving. I would make $10,000 and I would spend it. And it was like, there was no piling up in my bank account. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this. If it worked for love, maybe I can make it work for money. And so I applied these same mindset rituals and, how to impress your subconscious mind. Again, we teach a lot of that in our 10K and 30-day program. And my income went from $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 a month, $59,000 a month. The next month was $89,000, $98,000, $105, I think, $116, $125, $145. It kind of leveled out there at about $140, $160 for about a year. And then we pushed through and past the $200,000 mark. And every step of the way, I had to make new concepts of myself. It's not just me and my little assistant anymore. It's me and this entire team. And who do I have to be to get to my next goal? Now it's requiring me to become a different kind of leader, learning leadership, and learning how to say no so I can really focus and say yes. So I hope that is, I wanted to share that with you, just to share, a story about not just to never give up on yourself, and why I believe masterminds are the most phenomenal, fast track your success. Not just an idea, but something to really, sink your teeth into, give you an action plan, give you support, and to surround yourself with people that are already doing it. And my invitation for you, when you do join a mastermind, whether it's this one or you apply for somebody else's, that, you pick somebody who is doing what you want to do. Pick somebody who has a proven track record, not only for themselves, but can help, that has gotten results for other people, and somebody that you can relate to. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, this is a really scary thing, that are very new coaches, and they're trying to drive a Ferrari, and they don't even have the fucking learner's permit yet. You know what I mean? Like you need to go to driver school. It's kind of like, you don't jump on 1,000 cc motorbike, it's crazy motorbikes. And first you learn how to drive a bicycle with training wheels, you know what I mean? And then you got to take your training wheels off and you ride your little bike down the street. And then you're like, look, mom, no hands. And then you get a bigger bike, you know what I mean? And then you do pop wheelies and little tricks. It's the same thing with online marketing. Let's get you like down the driveway with your training wheels on without falling over and scraping your knees. And then, after we do that for a couple times, let's take the training wheels off and let you drive by yourself, and then let's, graduate to a bigger bike. And so that's when we see success. And I think there's so much noise in the online world these days. Everyone and their mother is an expert. That it's a lot of entrepreneurs fall into the trap of, again, buying this huge massive motorcycle, and they need to be in training wheels, and of course they crash and burn and scrape their knees, and some of them get into a lot of debt. Some of them get into way over their head. A lot of people just give up, and then they think about themselves poorly, but it's really not your fault. You need to be where you are, and then you need to have the right business model for where you're at in your development. And that's another reason why I love masterminds and working with mentors, because it's not like, one-stop shop. It's let me assess where you are at and just give you what you have, where you're at in your consciousness and the assets that you have in your business, the next 3 steps. That's when you see progress.